What's up, everybody? This is Mark from Solar Games, and we just got a bunch more leaks revealed for Phyrexia. All will be one. So, from the leaks, looks like there's a bunch of story element things that are kind of interesting. But more interestingly than that, we're seeing some good reprints. We're seeing some good cards. We're seeing cards that are potentially pretty substantial for this upcoming set. Of course, if we wait for about maybe another 2-3 weeks, we're going to get the official leaks before, of course, the set reveals and the whole set is spoiled. But we have seen some early releases. It's a little bit weird. So the video I saw from the source, I'll link it down below, basically has it where some card store, looks like, are opening their Dominaria remasters boxes. Again, I don't know how they're getting that so early, but I'm not going to ask. It is what it is. But the cards from Phyrexia All Will Be One are inside those boxes. So are these like preview boxes? I have no clue what's going on. I've seen this before with a couple other sets, but I remember it being like super sparse. This person who's opening Dominaria remasters was getting cards inserted for Phyrexia All Will Be One, like almost every pack. So it's kind of weird. Maybe there's some shenanigans and repacks going on. I'd be surprised that Wizards has made a mistake this big because, remember, it's not a set booster. If it's a set booster, it doesn't really affect anything with respect to your draft experience. But imagine you're drafting Dominaria Remastered and there's Phyrexia All Will Be One. I guess it's fine, but it's not really Dominaria, right? Is it Dominaria tangential? Anyways, so maybe it's fine. Maybe the draft will be fine, but I hope it's properly curated. Okay, but despite that, we do have the cards that are spoiled, which is kind of exciting. So the thing I saw the most that was interesting was there's, of course, Phyrexia Arena. Great card. If you play Commander, you know about this card. It's basically Black's way of drawing lots of cards. And the downside is not that bad. One life in a game of 40 is almost nothing. So you're drawing two cards per turn. You're losing 1 life per turn. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. And I'm glad it's being reprinted here because that's going to give this card, which tends to be around like the $10 to $15 range, probably a really proper downshift. So maybe around like $5, $10 by the end of it. It's still going to be highly demanded. People are going to seek after this card because, again, it's a good card. But it's going to be a lot cheaper, a lot more accessible. So I'm always out for that. I'm good for accessibility for the players. The other thing that's really interesting is they're going to introduce fast lands. Now, remember, Phyrexia All Will Be One is a standard legal set, which means fast lands is coming to the sets. This means more aggression is going to come, which I love. I've been kind of dreading the fact that, red decks just can't win anymore. There's not a lot of aggressive decks. There's not a lot of weenie decks that are popular in the current metagame. It's a lot more slower, a lot more mid-game rangy type of decks, grindier games. So I'm happy that it looks like we're shifting back into more aggression, or at least giving the tools for aggression so that people who are building decks that are more aggressive can have access to those. The other things that I thought were kind of interesting were, again, the reprints look pretty good so far. And the newer cards also look pretty good. So the ability to play, like there's this one green artifact now. I think it's 2 green. I forget, it's like Underworld Connections or something. But basically it's 2 green and you're able to play land cards from your graveyard. And then you can also, for like 1 time per turn, if you haven't cast a spell or something, play a card from graveyard directly. So you can just reanimate from graveyard without having to really do anything. Of course, that makes the downside of that is either you basically can't play any spell. You can play 1 spell from the graveyard or spells from your hand, which some games where it gets in that middle game range where you are running out of cards, it's not a bad thing to have. So this card could be pretty substantial for deck building. I don't know specifically which decks, I guess dredge decks, but I'm not sure what kind of support we have for dredge or dredging or self-mill type of deck within standard right now, but it could be interesting as an option for the decks that care about it. Again, I am a big fan of color artifacts, as you know, so the whole design perspective of color artifacts is that it allows them to build better artifacts that are tied to one color. So this way it can't be like, used by every deck. So the whole idea is like, well, you can build a better looking artifact or better, more powerful artifact, but it's only useful for certain colors, which is again helpful for design, and it makes you as a player who have the access to the cards like this feel a little bit more powerful when you play it. Just again, it makes it so that they can print more powerful cards, but also not have issues where it becomes like a must include for every single deck. Aside from that, I mean, the set's gonna look pretty good. And as I've been telling you guys, I have no problems. I have not had a problem with pretty much all of the products that Wizards has been shipping out, at least the mainline standard products. There's some other stuff that I'm not sure about, but the mainline standard sets have been good, right? I've drafted most of them, and most of them feel very good to play. I haven't played standard for a while, but that's not really, for me to play it nowadays anyways. Sounds like from my friends who do play Pioneer, that Pioneer's feeling pretty good right now too. So there's a lot of positive in Magic design. I think the problem that, basically a lot of the people who create content like I do are feeling is that it's the financial perspective. It's the fact that like Wizards are overprinting and kind of making a lot of players and collectors and investors, whatever, just kind of feel bad, stores, everybody, by basically printing a product, charging, let's say, whatever MSRP they think it's supposed to be, 150, 120, let's say 120 for a draft booster. And then, of course, quickly taking that price down to like 80, 70, 60, because they overprinted the product. Now, do I think Wizard has adjusted the numbers? I think they may actually have internally. But again, we don't know until we know. And this is one of those things where we're going to have to wait to find out. But I think the numbers given even a set like Unfinity was being, really, really strong sales numbers, which basically, signal the fact that like, look, the consumers are absorbing the product. It doesn't matter, like with all the people who are watching my videos, other people like myself, you guys probably won't do this. You're not consuming the product. But look, today I even checked up on 30th anniversary sealed boxes on eBay. And the sad part is they're still moving. There's still people buying them for like $1,500 for the 4 packs from these other people who are selling them. And this is kind of like what we predicted, right? Is that because of how scarce this product is, because how the excess product has not made it to stores at all. I talked to my buddies who own LGSs and said, hey, what's going on with your free pack? Are you going to get 2, 3, 4, whatever instead of the 1? Their response back is, I still haven't gotten my 1, so can't do anything, right? I still have a pretty cool video coming up with that. Once I figure out, my buddy at the store gets his set, we're going to do something very special. So I'll make sure to film that and share with you guys when that happens. But that's the thing, guys. Like, look, these sets from Wizards nowadays are really good. I'm telling you, the design, the flavor, the feels are good, okay? And maybe even the story is pretty good. They just got to make it more obvious, make it more apparent. I think they're doing that with some of the cards. By the way, check out that Phyrexia Arena art and flavor text. It's pretty good. You're gonna like it. But the thing is, the sets are good. So don't hate on the fact that this, it's not every part of Magic is bad. The design, the sets are really good. They feel good to play. Their drafting environment, the sealed environment, do feel pretty good. And as far as I can tell, like all the other, standard feels pretty good right now. Pioneer feels pretty good. Don't know much about modern, but we'll find out, right? They all feel pretty good. The issue we have, again, is it's the overprinting of the product and the lack of like recognition of what the community wants. That's all it is. It's like basically, you're sitting over here and you're yelling like, hey guys, stop doing this one thing. And all they can hear is, what? I can't hear anything. Keep doing that one thing you hate. Great. Keep doing it. Right? That's the problem we have. It's not about the set. It's not about the set being designed poorly. Like, because if all of Magic is poor right now, right? The design, all those pieces, this game would fall apart. Actually, it would have been fallen apart last year. The game is still going strong. People are still buying it because you play the set, you look at the cards, you want to buy the set. Like, look at Dominaria Remaster right now. The price is tanking because people don't have confidence. I'll make another video on that specifically, but Dominaria Remaster, the price is tanking because people lack confidence in the product and that it's going to hold the price, not because the set is going to be bad. I think the set's going to be fine to draft. Should be pretty fun too. Anyways, I'm out. See you next time.